Well, welcome to College Life 101, an insider's guide to spiritual success after high school. My name is Ben Burns, and I'm going to be your tour guide to understanding this magical journey from high school all the way into college. Now, what we're going to be talking about in this series is based on information that I have learned through 20 years of experience as a college campus minister. So I've worked with college students on large university campuses and small university campuses. So I've kind of developed a keen understanding of what college life is all about. So I want you to sit back, I want you to relax, because you are in the hands of a professional. Yes, thank you. How many people here today are seniors? Raise your hands, nice and big. Yeah, how's that feel to be a senior? Nice. Just one person says that's nice. I would think you're pretty excited about that. Now, of you seniors, how many of you know your list of colleges? What are some places you're applying for? Just give me that. Yeah, Anna.
George Fox and Seattle Pacific are my top two.
Good. What else? Anyone? Yeah. OSU. Okay. Anyone else? Fordham. Okay, cool. Any other thoughts about college? Applications? I'm not saying you have to make a commitment right now, okay? I'm just saying where you're applying, where you're thinking. All right. We've heard from 3 people. That's all we need to hear from. We're fine. Well, I think that college is going to be a really, really exciting time for you. For me, college was an incredibly powerful experience. I made some incredible lifelong friends. I grew really deeply in my relationship with Christ, and also saw God use me on campus. And those 3 things just had a profound spiritual impact on me. Now, what we're going to be looking at in this series is the idea that college will be an absolutely cool time because of the lifelong friendships you'll make and for the ways you're going to really, really grow deeply in your faith in Christ. But unfortunately, there are many people who went before you who've really struggled in their faith as they've made this transition. And it's my hope that in this series, what's going to happen is that you will be able to understand the college environment that you're walking into, and will be able to sidestep some of the hassles and the heartache that they have endured, okay? So we're on page 1 in your manual. So go ahead and open those up. And we're going to be taking a look in this first session about the idea of the college experience. And what we're going to do in this session is to take a look at 3 things, kind of an overview of what's going to make college memorable for you. And then we're going to delve deeper to look at 4 realities that is also going to make college challenging. So the first thing I want you to think about is the idea that your experience in college will be memorable because of the decisions you're going to make in 3 areas. Now, as we go through all this information today, this is one of those fill-in-the-blank kind of things, which I know some of you absolutely cannot stand. You're like, oh my gosh, fill-in-the-blank, kill me now, okay? I am going to try to help you with that, because anytime you see a yellow word, ding, that's your cue that goes in the blank, okay? Now, if at any time you just kind of fall asleep, or you just start doodling and you've lost your way, all the answers are in the back of the book, okay? So don't worry about that. If you just have checked out for 30 minutes and you've been thinking about tomorrow or whatever else, and you wake up and come back and you missed a bunch of blanks, they're in the back of your book, okay? So 3 things that are going to make college memorable for you. First of all is the area of your career. I mean, that's why you're going to college, right? You got to figure out what you're going to do when you grow up. Well, even though this might be a little bumpy for you, it's still a very exciting time, because you're now trying to get some shape as to how God is pulling you and directing you, and what role you're going to have in His kingdom, how that's going to live out with your vocation. That's a pretty memorable season that you're going to walk through just on your career. Second thing are the friends that you make. Now, I know some of you are here with some of your friends, and you're actually thinking, there is no way I'm going to find any better friend than the people I'm with right now, okay? We're like BFF, okay? So there's no way I'm having more friends, right? Well, it's really kind of interesting, because you're going to experience the kind of bonding that takes place during the college years that goes so much more deeply and more powerful because of the kinds of things that you're going to go through during this season together. When my wife and I got married, there were 7 guys that stood up with us in our wedding. 5 of those guys I had met while I was in college, and many of them I still stay in touch with today. So the friends that you're going to make during this season of your life will be really, really powerful. The last memorable decision that you're going to make, or the area, is in the idea of your faith. Having worked with college students, what I've seen is how college students end their college career with their faith is kind of the track that they stay on for a long time. So if you end doing well in your faith in college, you're probably going to stay on that track to keep growing. But if you end college not doing well in your faith, you're going to possibly stay on that track for a long time. So it's important for you to think about what kind of decisions you're going to make regarding your faith while you're in college. What's interesting about this season of your life is that all your growing up years, mom and dad have been pouring into you all these biblical things and all these values, and your youth pastors and small group leaders and teachers and stuff have been pouring all this stuff. But now this is the time of your life in college where all this is going to start to harden like cement. And you've got to figure out for yourself what you think, what you believe, and what you're going to do with that. So it's really a memorable season for what you're going to be learning and thinking about regarding your faith. But I want you to know that there are many people that have experienced some challenges. Look at this email that we got from a student just about his experience going off to college. He said, I've gone to church my whole life and my spirituality has always been an influence in my life. As I went away to college, I didn't consider my faith in Christ an important part of who I was, and consequently, I didn't care that I was continuing to turn my back on God. I turned to my friends in my dorm to find my identity and got into drinking, drugs, and sexual immorality. You know what's really interesting about this person's confession is that they said they've gone to church their whole life. They said that their spirituality has always been an important part of their life. But there's something about transitioning into college that they just did not anticipate that made it difficult for them to live out what they said was really important. I'm really curious about your thoughts. I want you to turn to a neighbor and discuss this question. Why do you think so many Christians struggle in their faith when they go off to college? All right, so that's your assignment. That's your topic. All right, so turn to your neighbor and discuss. Have a little discussion. If I start hearing stuff about what's on TV tonight, I know you're done. All right, so kick that question around for a minute.